Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do more Am I the Asshole type of videos with Darius. Say hi, Darius.
Hey everybody.
He's here. If you're wondering how we do this, he's all the way in Texas and obviously I'm in Florida. We're in a sense FaceTiming. This is how I've been doing it. No one's asked, I'm just saying. This is how I've been doing it. So, you ready for the first story, Darius?
Yep, ready to do it.
So it says, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance / college money? You ready for this one?
Yep, ready.
So, context. My sister, female, 27, and I, 18, female, lost her dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money, inheritance, for me and sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. I've always wanted to be they're missing an A, but that's okay, be doctor, but haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about Dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral, only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. No. That right there is a red flag. Just because you're ill too doesn't mean you should make fun of someone else.
Right.
Because you're ill. That's like saying I'm allowed to make fun of make fun of people who have mental disabilities because I have a mental disability. You know better. That right there is a red flag. Sorry. Let's continue though. But you see what I mean, Darius? Like, that doesn't, like, just because you're terminally ill doesn't mean you have the right to mock someone else because they have a terminal ill as well.
Shame on you, mystery person.
Like, that makes no sense, and you shouldn't do it. It's wrong, no matter what, and especially since it's a grown-ass man.
Right.
Anyways, continue. I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out the hospital for heart problems and in need for a surgery. Okay. My grandmother has only 1/4 of her heart does not work, but you don't see her going around and making fun of people who've had heart attacks because she had one. You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand.
hearing the heart conditions remind me of my grandmother. My grandmother doesn't make fun of anyone, ever. But let's continue. She brought my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she'd pay back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I gave her money for my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay back before it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. So where's the husband's money? Like, you can be terminally ill and still have a job.
Maybe it doesn't work.
But you see what I mean? It's like, and if you can't pay for the surgery, I know there's a bunch of like things you can apply for that will help pay for the surgery and stuff.
Right.
Don't guilt trip a family member to give you money, especially if you know you can't pay it back. And clearly the sister doesn't know what responsibility is, especially since she went off and paid for cars and renovated her house instead of saving it.
Yeah.
So clearly she has no control when it comes to shopping. But let me continue because it's not even done yet. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I agreed that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family telling me this is what I was saying not to. A happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish, not good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and she said let them sell the cars and all the luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me if I give them money, I'll never get it back and may not be able to go to medical school. Okay, that's the end of that. 100% not the asshole.
I agree.
Again, the sister went out and bought all these luxury cars. If you needed the money that bad, sell the cars.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back, first of all, I would throw back, you didn't let me live with you, first of all, so why should I give you my money? Because right here, she wrote, she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. Oh, because you're terminally ill and wouldn't let me live with you, you now want my money? Like, her sister's husband would not let her live with her sister, and then turns around and expect her to give them money for his surgery.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. I'm sorry. I am the youngest sibling, but yes, I have siblings, and if my siblings did this to me, dead ass, I would not help them. I'd tell them to go fuck themselves. And I'm pretty sure Darius can agree because he has siblings as well. He's not the youngest, but he has siblings.
Yep, 6 siblings.
Damn, I only have 3. But anyways, someone's,
Yeah, definitely not the asshole.
so someone commented about how the person, he said, let them sell the cars and all the luxury stuff they bought to afford the surgery and warned me if I give them money, I'll never get it back and may not be able to go to medical school. Someone took that section and then said, your friend is correct. You'll never get the money back because sis isn't willing to give up her luxurious lifestyle. She chose how to spend her inheritance, didn't save for a rainy day, and isn't entitled to yours because of her poor financial planning. Not the asshole. And then there's one, OP did comment, I'm not sure whether they still have anything of value because I remember my aunt talking about my sister selling her car in May. And then someone commented, cars depreciate in value quickly. It is true. The more you drive your car, the less value it truly is. It still isn't your problem that she decided to spend all of her inheritance unwisely. They're trying to live outside of their means as a family, which means if you give any money, be prepared to not get it back. Don't be surprised if you keep getting asked for more until you're left with nothing. You can have this relationship with your sister or you can pay for medical school. You can't have both. But your sister and her husband seem toxic, so distancing from them should be your first step. Even I said that's a red flag right there. Like, all of this is red flag. Again, the sister chose how to spend her money. She chose to go buy nice cars. She chose to renovate her house. I personally would have saved it. And I get the sister's older, so at the time the sister was 27. She knows how to spend money.
Yeah,
She should know whether or not she should spend money on this or that. As an 18-year-old, you're kind of living on your own finally, usually when you're 18. So you're kind of learning, should I buy this or should I not buy this? But even then, the 18-year-old had more common sense than the 27-year-old.
Right.
But altogether, I say not the asshole. What do you think, Darius?
Definitely not the asshole.
Okay, I gotta say one more comment. I only liked it because I noticed something. So it says, not the asshole. They will bleed you dry, and when nothing is left, they'll continue being pricks. My husband and I drive 16-year-old cars, both paid off. Do we want new ones? Of course. But being able to pay for housing, food, daycare, utilities, a few things here and there for our kids, and rainy day savings is a fuck off a lot more important than leather seats and navigation. I kind of agree with them, other than the navigation part, because even my car doesn't have that, and it's like, 6 years old now? We bought my car. It's technically not my car yet. It will eventually be gifted to me. But, my car, we bought it in November of 2015, brand new. It's a January 2016 Honda Elantra.
So you bought the car on you said 2015?
Mm-hmm. November of 2015.
So you bought the car on my 16th birthday?
Yeah. I was still 15, but yeah. But you get what I mean? I don't know. Is it 6 years old? Or is it... It'll be 7 this year. Right? Yeah. It'll be 7 this
15,
year.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 8.
8? It'll be 8 this year?
Yep.
So my car will be 8 years old. Do I want a new car? No. I like my car. Has it been in a car accident? Yes. Has someone hit my car again after we got it fixed? Yes. It looked like they pulled in and hit our car and then backed out and left.
Have you had people in your car? Damn right.
Yeah.
Me.
I've had Darius in my car. And isn't my car a good car? For being almost 8 years old.
I mean, it was good enough for me to sleep in it.
Oh yeah, when we went to Universal. Okay, anyways,
Yeah.
let me continue to the next Am I the Asshole? So you ready? The title is, would I be the asshole if I asked my pregnant wife to move out because she and her best friend decided to test my loyalty? You ready for this?
I think I already know the answer to this.
I know the answer because I can see it. He cannot. So it goes, my wife is pregnant with our daughter. Initially, we were really happy and excited about it, but then she starts acting like a nut job. She gets angry and irritated for small things, insults me when she doesn't like the food I make, starts acting insecure and accuses me of losing attraction for her. For example, she wanted to eat chicken sandwiches for dinner last week. Well, I made chicken sandwiches, so she eats all the sandwiches, leaves me nothing, and told me that they tasted like shit. Okay, females can be fucking hormonal, but that's not hormones. That's just being a bitch. I mean, I can't say I've been around a pregnant woman.
What? Huh? What? Really?
Really? I don't think I've actually been around someone who was pregnant.
Well, I can tell you, you're lucky as fuck.
But even this doesn't even sound hormonal. You know what I mean? If the person really didn't like the food, they wouldn't have eaten all the chicken sandwiches. If it tasted like shit. Because let's be real. A pregnant woman, if they didn't like what you made, would get up, cook themselves their own damn food, and then eat that.
Not even. They would just grab whatever the fuck's in the fucking
fridge.
cabinets.
Like if they didn't like what you made. And I think you can testify to that because I know you... doesn't one of your sister have like 3 kids?
It's 3 kids. You had a mother who was already pregnant, had a sister who was pregnant.
Yeah, see?
Like,
He's been around them. I have not. But let me continue. I wasn't pissed because she left me nothing, but if she didn't like them, why did she have to eat everything? When I asked her this, she told me that she was hungry. Okay, fine. She does this every time, eats everything I make and calls it shit. I don't argue with her because I work for more than 80 hours a week, and I really want to have some peace when I'm home. So yesterday, a random girl starts flirting with me after the gym and asked me if I wanted to meet up with her for some drinks. I rejected her and told her that I was married, and when I got home, my wife started to hug me and apologize. When I asked her what happened, she told me that her best friend suggested a test for my loyalty. So they asked a mutual friend to flirt with me and asked me out. I passed. Yay, I'm really pissed. I'm done with her antics. Would I be the asshole if I asked her to move out? Edit, I don't live in the USA. Please don't discuss the legalities based on laws there. So this person lives in another country.
Still, it's always different countries, still same language. But no, definitely not the asshole.
But that's not what they said. I don't find him the asshole. I don't, but the majority of the vote called him an asshole.
Probably because she's fucking pregnant.
Yeah, they're probably thinking. Okay, so someone said, "Yikes! Might I suggest some couples therapy first? What she did was clearly an A move, though I don't think you'd be in the right to have her move out while pregnant." Someone said, "LOL, what? Being pregnant doesn't guarantee your relationship if you're being a terrible person." Then someone comments, "But I think you're making an assumption that she'll be homeless. She has a best friend. Maybe she'll take her in. Being homeless doesn't mean sleeping on the street. It means you lack a home, which would still be the case if she stayed with a friend."
But look, she has a friend who can definitely, if she can go over to her friend's place, like they tested a guy's loyalty. Guys hate that. We hate being tested of our loyalty. Like,
and us females hate it too. Like, if you fucking test my loyalty and I find out you are, I'm gonna go ahead, turn around, and ask that guy out just to piss you off.
Honestly, I'm just like, look.
Like, I'll tell them, I'll be like, I'll fucking double pay you what they're paying you to flirt with me. Just to fuck them over.
I would just come out and say, hey, if I was literally not faithful or loyal to you, why the hell would I still be dating you? Or married to you? Like, that's just me. Like, I'll keep it real.
People are like, someone says he can't immediately evict her for any reason. She's a legal tenant of the house. If that was another... Based off the legalities in other countries, he probably has the right. Like, I know...
Yeah. In a different country...
I think in the Muslim... Like, isn't it the Muslim culture where the woman has no say?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not just that, too. It's also...
I don't
China,
know.
Some parts of Korea.
Yeah, like, let's say they lived there, right? I think he has the choice whether or not to kick her out.
Yeah.
In those countries. Because that is their culture, that is their customs. Those are their laws. So, I don't feel like he's the asshole. She was full on being a grade A asshole, but people called him the asshole. So, the overall vote for him was asshole, but I don't find him the asshole.
There's even people that live together today that they don't even share the same
house.
They don't share the same beds. They sleep in separate beds.
Yeah, but let's move on to another one. You already know about this one. You only know the title of this one. So the next one is, am I the asshole for not waking up my girlfriend for exam after I overheard her calling me a little bitch? You ready?
Ready? Yeah.
Okay. My girlfriend has online summer courses and she had an exam for one of them this morning. I usually wake her up for pretty much everything because she sleeps through her phone alarm no matter how long it buzzes or how many she sets. Okay, she's not waking up to one of the sounds. She needs to change it to another. My suggestion, the alarm one. You know which one the alarm one is?
Is it the one that makes a really loud fucking noise?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm gonna play which one she needs if she's sleeping through shit. Hold on. So, if she's sleeping through shit, this is what she needs. Hold on, I gotta find it. Damn it, it's not in this one. Hold on, I know how to do this. Hold on. She needs to do this one. She needs this sound. If I can find it. Why is it this one? She needs this one. If she can't wake up, that's what she needs.
Yeah, that or sometimes
because at one
I play.
At one point, that was the sound I was using to wake up. Like, it scares me awake. I'm like, what the hell is that? But anyways, let me continue. She has joked that I'm her butler before, and within the context of relationship, it's okay, so I didn't mind. Obviously, I want to love my partner and try to make her life easy. However, last night she was chatting with her friends and she thought I couldn't hear. She was bragging that I'm her little bitch and I do everything for her when she tells me to, etc. It really hurt my feelings because they were making comments like, good, put him in his place, and she was agreeing, no. No. Just no. Right there. I mean, it continues, but right there, no. The good put him or her in his or her place, like, no. That right there is a red flag. That just tells me you're self-centered.
Sounds like it.
But let me continue. She specifically said, yeah, I'm not worried about tomorrow because the bitch will make sure I'm up and he'll probably have breakfast ready for me too. I went to bed pretty hurt by it, and come morning, I didn't bother to wake her up when her alarm started to go. She usually only gets up when someone physically shakes her, but I let her turn off her alarm, and she slipped back into sleep, and I turned around and went back to sleep too. When she woke up, she was yelling at me, saying I'm an asshole, and I've cost her exam, and I'm a piece of shit for what I did. He goes, edit, sorry for not responding sooner. I wrote this up on my break at work. Now I have to get back to it. Can't have my phone work with food. I wasn't expecting this many replies so fast. I think we're breaking up. I told her this morning after she called me a bitch for being upset being called a bitch. LOL, but she says she's not done with me. I'm just trying to get through today's shift and then deal with stuff later. I'll try to get back as I can. We've been together a year and it was my first real relationship, but I'm tired of her not acknowledging how shitty she made me feel and still calling me a bitch. That word is really making me feel shit and small.
I feel for the guy.
So someone says, not the asshole. Your girlfriend sounds incredibly abusive. You shouldn't have to put up with that. Don't wait for any more red flags. Get out of this. Okay, let's put this. This is in all caps. Get out of this now. End of that. You deserve better. If I could show you the screen. There's people that says, dude, get out. 2 red flags. You didn't put up enough red flags. Hold on, let me count this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 red flags. Yeah, someone commented 24 red flags. Like, not the word red flags, but like an actual red flag.
Still not enough red flags.
Like, there are so many red flags in the comments. But overall vote was not the asshole. No, he's not the asshole. She is. And he does deserve better. People do deserve better. If someone's in a relationship like this where one of them is calling the other names and like calling them butlers or stuff, tell that person they deserve better, because they truly do, because a relationship is not a one-way path, it's a two-way path. You meet in the middle.
I completely agree.
Like, I remember when I talked to you about this, I said if I was ever in a relationship, at the time growing up when I was in a relationship, I didn't have money, but if I do get like married or in a relationship and I do have money, if the guy buys dinner, I'll buy dessert. If we go to the movies, he can buy the tickets, I'll pay for the popcorn and drinks and snacks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because you're meeting in the middle. Unless it's an anniversary and the person, they have something set up for each other, you know?
Yeah.
Then that's different. But like, to go out on dates, like, you gotta meet in the middle. So I'm gonna read one more. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my son I was disappointed after he and his wife lied about my grandson's birthday? My son, 23, and his wife just had a baby boy. Everyone is overjoyed and excited, but there have some issues that has risen recently. When my daughter-in-law was pregnant, I suggested that I host a welcoming party for my grandson right after she gets discharged from the hospital. I've made arrangements and even emptied a room for them to stay, but for some reason she was against it and said she'd rather spend the first few weeks at home with her newborn. Not only that, but she said no to the welcoming party. My husband and I talked to my son, and he said, "We'll see." But just a couple of days ago, we found out that my daughter-in-law had given birth 2 weeks ago, and no one knew about it. My nephew told me, and I immediately called my son. He confirmed it. He and his wife lied, then hid the date of birth from the family. I told him this was not acceptable, lying just because they didn't want a welcoming party and love and support being given from family. I told him I was disappointed because, for one, he ruined our welcoming for our grandbaby, and also I invited family members, and they're all rightfully disappointed as well. He said it was his last resort after I kept pushing and made his wife uncomfortable, but that was not appreciated because we were just trying to celebrate the new family member in a proper manner. We had an argument, and he ended the call upon saying I ruined his joy for his newborn. My husband started texting him since he stopped replying to our phone calls, and now is starting to block my nephew for chatting, but I think that my nephew was decent enough to inform the family. Otherwise, God knows how long my son and his wife were going to hide their son just to keep us at arm's length. We've also been kind and welcoming to my daughter-in-law and her family. I don't know why she would do this and disrespect the family like that. On the other hand, some family members see it as a justified action because we insisted on the party. P.S. Some folks I'd appreciate it if you leave my nephew, male 24, out of this conflict because he's not part of it. The overall vote is asshole, but I don't find them at an asshole part. Like, if I was the one who was pregnant, I'd appreciate that they'd want a welcoming party.
Right.
I would say instead of right after I get discharged, how about on this day, and we can do a party. And I can heal from giving birth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people don't want to have things right away.
Yeah, like if she had just nicely said, how about we do this instead? Everyone thinks they're the asshole, but I truly don't think they are. Like, you guys could have had a civil conversation as adults. Because you're adults. Mm-hmm. And then what I really feel like doesn't make them an asshole is, yeah, I'd be upset too if I was the mom and finding out that my son had their kid and didn't tell me. Like what the hell? You would think that the mother would be appreciative of BRB. Okay. You better make it fast.
I'm getting my food. Leave me alone.
Take me with you.
Fine, I will.
Thank you.
Matter of fact,
I enjoyed you looking at your headphones for a minute, and they were like, nah.
well, I was turning them off for Bluetooth.
Oh. But real quickly, do you think they're the asshole?
No.
I mean, there are some parts where they're like, yeah, that's an asshole move, by like blowing their phones up. But you know what? How would you feel knowing that your sister had a baby and she doesn't tell you for 2 weeks? How would you feel? Like, let's say it's their very first child, right? And she lies to you about when the child is pregnant.
I'd be a little bit.
Yeah. Like, people have voted that they're the asshole. So people are like, exposing a newborn to all sorts of diseases during a pandemic. Because this was posted during the pandemic, but you know what? If the female's already pregnant during the pandemic, she's probably most likely already gave the baby the strand to protect itself from COVID as long as she got vaccinated. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You want to know why we evolve and can handle new diseases? Like how we can handle diseases like the swine flu. And we don't really need like to be quarantined on that anymore. Because at one point, because females at one point was pregnant during that pandemic, and when they gave birth after getting the vaccination, because the vaccination technically goes in the bloodstream, that goes into the baby. If you didn't know that. Any drug you take while pregnant goes to the baby as well. So I'm just gonna end the video, but I don't think she's the asshole. But I mean, like, yeah, right away, yeah, asshole for wanting it right away, but the daughter-in-law is also the asshole for not saying, hey, could we do it later?
Yeah, I can see that too.
Like, you could have.
It's kind of hard.
It is kind of hard. Like, I feel like, honestly, this one is, everyone sucks, but not, like, not the asshole.
It really parked outside my building, but then these motherfuckers won't fucking come to the fucking work.
Yeah, everyone is like, you're the asshole. But either way, like, I get you don't want them to have diseases, but you could have easily have FaceTimed. Instead of having a party, we could FaceTime. Now that I think about it, like, we live in a day and age of fucking technology. They could have FaceTimed. So then the baby's not around people. But I find that funny. It's like, you're trying to give the baby diseases, considering most babies are born in hospitals, which have the most, that have people who are sick. I know you go into the maternity area, but when you leave with the baby, you go through where people are sitting where they're sick. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you take them outside the hospital and you, like, take them home, all the germs that are inside your home before you even left for the hospital are still there. Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself.
Trying to think what I was gonna say. I lost track of what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, but it's also, you know, I mean, some hospitals, you know, have it to where where babies are born on the opposites side of the hospital, while patients are on the other side or on a different floor. So.
Yeah, but then you also have those old timers who are. Some hospitals do have psych wards. So you do have those where there are older people who are just walking around. They'll go into the maternity area. You know what I mean? And not only that, you have other people who are also giving birth who could also have diseases.
Sure. People have, you know,
And when you're giving birth, you have doctors and nurses who are who've handled a million different patients that day who are now helping you give birth. Like, at this point, the baby's already been exposed. Like, at that point, the baby's been exposed.
Well, also, the doctors are wearing most of them they're supposed to be wearing masks, surgical masks, and have surgical gloves on. Just so they don't infect people.
I know.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself. So, we're gonna end the video here. If you enjoyed it, let me know what your thoughts are down below. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the bell notifications until I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.